Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing for Monday, February 13th. Over the last 7 to 14 days, we've had fairly quiet conditions across the Great Basin with below normal precipitation. New snowfall, obviously with the low precipitation, has been minimal, mostly into the western side of the Great Basin into California, but really very little, if any, precipitation. However, the snowpack is still very good across the Great Basin, as you can see on the right. How this relates to normal, you can see still up in Idaho and Wyoming, we're near normal for the time of year. And then further south into Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, still well above normal, although the snow has dropped a little bit with the drier conditions. However, we have seen some colder temperatures, so we're still sitting about 150 to over 200% of normal across the southern two-thirds of the Great Basin. The satellite loop from this morning shows an area of low pressure now tracking eastward through Southern California into Arizona. This is generating some wraparound clouds and some light shower activity over southern areas of the Great Basin. You can see the next area of low pressure pushing into the Pacific Northwest. This will drop into the northern part of the Great Basin and push south over the next 24 to 36 hours. So for later today, the system in the south moves east into California and will continue with that wraparound moisture into parts of the Arizona Strip and Utah. And then by later this afternoon and this evening, that system in the northwest pushes into Idaho, and it will bring some clouds and light shower activity along with much colder temperatures. Fire potential obviously will still remain low despite even the drier conditions we've seen. Transport winds will remain generally light over the southern half of the Great Basin and start to pick up in Idaho as that system moves in later today, and mixing heights will be quite low. Relative humidity will remain above 25 or 30% across the Great Basin with these two systems affecting the region, and dispersion will remain poor with this lighter wind flow. As we move into Tuesday, the system moving into the northwest and Idaho today drops south into central and eastern areas of the Great Basin. This will again cause a significant drop in temperatures and also bring some light precipitation mainly to the eastern half of the Great Basin, but we could see some lighter showers out west as well. Fire potential obviously remaining low. Transport winds as the system moves through will be picking up across central and southern areas of the Great Basin as winds shift to the north as the low drops south. Mixing heights will also be improving. Relative humidity will remain about the same. Could see some lower areas of humidity down in the south, but obviously no concerns. And then the dispersion will improve significantly on Tuesday as the winds pick up. As we move into Wednesday, this system starts to exit the eastern side of the Great Basin, but still will have some clouds and light showers over far eastern areas and still lingering cold temperatures. But the ridge starts to build right along the west coast. Transport winds will still be quite strong over the southern half of the Great Basin as the system exits on the backside of it with those northerly winds. Mixing heights will remain high in the south and generally lower with lighter wind flow up north. Relative humidity still not much of a concern. Do have some lower relative humidity in southern Nevada, but again, no issues there. Dispersion will remain good over the southern half of the Great Basin with those stronger winds and poor to areas to the north and on the far western side of the basin. Colder temperatures, again, as the systems drop south. Today we'll see very warm conditions, especially over the western half of the Great Basin with highs in the 40s and 50s. Highs over northern and eastern areas will remain in the 30s and 40s today, but as that system drops south tonight into tomorrow, we will see that significant drop in temperatures of about 15 to 20 degrees over western areas, and we will see temperatures drop around 5 to 10 degrees over northern and eastern areas. Overnight lows will also be dropping. We'll see overnight lows tonight into Tuesday morning in the teens across most areas, but we'll certainly see more single digits and some lows around 0 going into Wednesday and Thursday morning. So again, looking for those colder daytime temperatures and also those bitterly cold overnight lows. Forecast amounts of precipitation with these two systems. The one in the south, obviously we'll see some precipitation in the Arizona Strip and southern Utah, and then dropping down from the north. As far as amount-wise, really nothing noteworthy over the northern half of the Great Basin, just some lighter precipitation with the colder snow showers. But we could see some of those colder snow showers even affect southern areas of the Great Basin as we get into the Wednesday time period and that system drops south with those colder temperatures. As we move towards Thursday, the ridge starts to dominate the Great Basin, but we still have another trough lingering off the west coast. And then on Friday, that trough moves a little bit closer and starts to slide down the California coast. May see some clouds moving into western areas of the Great Basin, but still generally dry conditions. And then once we get into later on Friday and Saturday is where we'll start to see another system drop down from the north, interacting with some of this moisture in the south. So we will see a return of clouds and light precipitation moving in across most areas of the Great Basin for the weekend. And this will continue on Sunday. So the precipitation totals for days 4 and 5, taking us from Thursday into Saturday morning, still looking for those dry conditions. It's really over the weekend we'll start to see those lighter showers move in. Again, mostly cloud cover. Any precipitation still looks to be on the lighter side going into early next week. And then the 7-day total precip with these multiple systems moving through the Great Basin. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from February 20th through the 26th, shows colder than normal temperatures across much of the west and also above normal precipitation, especially over the northern and eastern half of the Great Basin. So again, this will continue to keep fire potential low and continue to add to our snowpack going through February. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Wednesday for the latest updates.